Okay, this is not the greatest lighting to be recording, but if I wait for it to be perfect, this video will never come out. So here we are. Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about two tips. I'm giving you two tips today, and we're going to talk about, if you remember in my last video, my very first video, the only other video, I mentioned how I went from being laid off to having 3 offers to consider before finding my next role. I want to talk a little bit more about what's happening in the job market and 2 tips that I think is going to help those, I hope will help if you do it, find a new role. A lot of people are unemployed and they've been searching for months and months on end. The job market right now is way worse than it's been last year when I was on my job hunt. So I want to share a couple tips because I'm always lurking on LinkedIn and I'm constantly reading people's kind of like posts regarding their experience, their frustrations. And one thing I've noticed is there's one type of post where someone mentioned, they went through 5 rounds with a company over 1.5 months and they got a no. And they always say now they're back to square one. There's no reason you should be starting at square one ever. There's no reason you should be putting all your eggs in one basket. I don't care how dreamy the role looks, always be interviewing. So if you're working with a company and things are going well and you're going through the, you've been chosen to, continue through the interview process, that's amazing. Your resume resonated with the company. Great. Keep interviewing, keep applying. Worry about navigating how that's going to look on the other end of things. But the worst thing you want to do is to be applying, get one interview call back, and you completely stop interviewing, completely stop applying. I keep mixing up those 2 words. Don't ever do that to yourself because you don't really know what's happening behind the scenes. You could be one of the top 3 choices for a candidate, for a company, but they went the other way. Or they could completely decide that they're going in a completely different direction. Maybe they decide to dissolve the role. Maybe there's a hiring freeze. You just weren't their chosen person. Don't ever allow yourself to be caught up where you're starting back at ground zero. I promise you it hurts less if you're always applying. It'll hurt way less. It'll be a lot easier for you to pick yourself up because at the end of the day, it's going to be like, oh, all right, didn't get this one. Still got these other ones that I'm working. Always be applying. That's tip 1. Always be applying. Do not get caught up in one role. Do not get caught up in a dream role. Always be applying. My second tip, this second tip is for people who are afraid to ask for a referral. Let's say you have like 10 companies that you've done your research on that you really want to work for, and even if you don't know anyone, this is even better. If you don't know anyone at any of those companies, here's one thing that you should keep in mind. Most companies have a referral program. What does that mean? That means an employee can refer someone that's interested in a role at their company, and if the company hires them after maybe, every company is different, but the threshold is usually like 4 to 6 months, maybe even longer in some cases. If that employee that they've referred has actually stuck it out as long as 4 to 6 months, the employee that referred them gets cash, gets $500, $250. My old company gave $2,700 for a good employee. I've never seen anything that high before. Why is this important? It's important because it doesn't matter if you know the person or not that works at that company. If you are a good employee and you last, they're going to get paid. It doesn't matter if they know you or not. So why not take a shot? You can always go to LinkedIn, research people that are in a role. Here's the caveat. only reach out to one person. Only reach out to one person. And here is where it gets tricky. If you reach out to one person, you can say something along the lines of, "Hi, I see you work for X, Y, and Z. I'm actually wondering," don't say first you're trying to apply. Ask them if there is an employee referral program with a monetary prize, with a monetary kickback or whatever. Say it like that first if it's something that you're emailing, so that they don't totally just dismiss you. Because to be honest, it's not always something that's promoted across the company, especially if it's a huge company. Some of these perks and benefits people just forget about or just gets lost in the cracks. And in a lot of cases, it's almost like they'd want it that way because that's less money they're dishing out. But I feel like the tide's turning. And I say that because we already know that hundreds of people are applying for a single role. So hiring teams, recruiters are inundated and overwhelmed. Job seekers are inundated and overwhelmed. And not only that, those hundreds of applications, a large percentage of those are bots. So you have recruiters now responsible for checking to make sure these are not bot applicants. That's an additional step that they have to take on top of doing their normal sifting through, finding the quality, candidates that have great potential. So what can help you cut through that noise? Go through an employee where there's an actual referral program where they get paid, because they're likely to pass your resume on, right? Because if it doesn't work out, it just doesn't work out. But if it does, you get a job, they get paid. So that actually, I feel that recruiters or employees will begin to look more at the employee referral process. And they may even start encouraging it, only because it's getting harder. It's getting harder. It's becoming a lot more of a nuisance to go through this hiring process. So, just to quickly recap, tip number 1, always be applying. Do not get that one call back and immediately drop everything and zone in on that one opportunity. Always be applying so that if things don't work out, it's just something to brush off your shoulder and you can keep moving forward. It hurts less, I promise you. It hurts less. As long as you still have calls coming in, interviews happening, it hurts less. It's a lot harder to pick yourself up from ground zero to go back into interviewing and starting over. Don't start over. Don't start over. Tip number 2, use employee referrals. Ask for an employee referral program. You can reach out to people on LinkedIn. I think I said this, let me just double check. Don't go to multiple people at the same company asking them to pass your resume on, because that'll backfire, because they're not going to pay that out to everyone. They're only going to pay that out to one person. So choose a person that you want to reach out and connect with. Find out if they offer a employee referral program with a monetary kickback, and go from there and submit your resume that way. Make sure your resume is in great condition. Make sure you got your cover letter. I promise that money talks. It's more receptive. If they don't respond, that's their loss. But take it from me, people are receptive when there's money involved. Everyone needs money right now. Inflation is what it is. I think this is a way to cut through the noise by going through the employee system. So please try those 2 tips. If you have been doing it, let me know how that's working out for you. If you have not been doing it, try it out. Let me know how it works. And thanks for listening. Please look out for my next video. I wanted to keep this one short since the last one was so long. But thank you. Have a great day and talk soon.